welcome to the Just Economy Podcast. The Just Economies Podcast is sponsored by the Community Reinvestment Alliance of Florida. We're a statewide membership organization ensuring that the financial institutions reinvest into the community per the Community Reinvestment Act of 1977. Today we have a special guest from Miami Homes for All, Ivonne Pinedo.
Thank you, Cornell.
And we'll be talking with her about all the work that she's doing, helping our affordable housing and housing needs here in the county. The organization, the Community Reinvestment Alliance of Florida, has some big things coming up we want you to look out for. Come the end of August, our nonprofit capacity building project will start. This project is powered by Truist Bank. We will be offering grants to social impact organizations or nonprofits whose budget is $500,000 or less. They'll be able to apply for grants for up to $20,000 for a wide variety of items, from staffing to equipment to strategic planning to board training. All those things they'll be able to apply for. It will be a simple application that will be done online. So look forward to that. The announcement will be coming out in the next week or so. Have to be a member of the Community Reinvestment Alliance of Florida in order to apply. But we look forward to serving the community with this grant. And again, it is powered by Truist, up to $20,000 to help social impact organizations build capacity for their organizations. So thank you again for checking out the Just the Economy podcast. And today we have a very special guest, Ivonne Pinedo. She is working at Miami Homes for All, doing some great work over there in order to help affordable housing and our homeless personnel. And Ivonne, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Cornell.
Yeah, thank you for coming. We greatly appreciate it. You're doing some great work over there. If you don't follow her on Facebook, please do. Please follow her on Facebook. She posts some incredible videos of the work she's doing. So I wanted to make sure I get that plug in there. So hopefully your followers will increase like this. She's doing some great work, and she's very, very passionate about the work she does. So that we love watching her, and we love reposting her videos. So Ivonne, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me and for having me here. As you mentioned, I am with Miami Homes for All. I am the housing recruitment manager. At Miami Homes for All, we are a champion for affordable housing, and we help people, vulnerable populations, get housed. The way I got here was prior to starting here at Miami Homes for All. I have like a little history. I have a soft spot for helping people. I was a teacher first, a case manager afterwards, became a realtor, and then after of it all, I'm here today with Miami Homes for All. Come to find out, all the skills that I acquired throughout the different jobs gave me the opportunity not only to be able to see from the person's perspective of housing, but also as an investor myself, be able to have the perspective of a landlord. So developing this housing affordable database, thanks to the Homeless Trust and the Children's Trust, I've been able to merge the two worlds. Mm-hmm. It was always a passion of mine to have social work, community improvement, and real estate investment married, right? Mm-hmm. Because one doesn't necessarily have to exist at the detriment of the other. Mm-hmm. There is a true partnership that can happen. We can help people improve communities, all the while the person investing in these properties can also have a living and enjoy and have success with these.
You know, it's very, very interesting, Ivonne, because I would never think about real estate investing and community being married in any shape or form. You know, it's interesting that you're coming at it from that point of view. I think we particularly here in South Florida look at real estate investing as a bad thing, at least as far as the community is concerned. But Ivonne is attacking it from a whole nother level, which goes to show that, you know, diversity and variety is so needed in the community, because we have a great person who come up with another idea. You know what I mean? And how to attack our issue. Miami Homes for All is doing some great things in the community, providing us with great studies and talking about the issues of around affordable housing. So how did the idea come to you to marry real estate investing with helping the community and its affordable housing problems?
So based on the studies that Miami Homes for All provides, we were able to see that there was a gap, right? There is space for it to happen, right? We approach landlords, we recruit landlords, we talk to them directly and see what their needs are. In that conversation, we can see what is it that they're looking for. Again, revisiting the terms that they ask for, we can see there's room for opportunity. Having that, we have also the partnerships with the different providers. So having all the information from both sides of the table, let's say, we're able to have a friendship, let's say, and a true partnership. There are landlords that come to us that believe in our mission. We have a special focus on youth exiting foster care and youth homelessness. So we have landlords approaching us saying we want to be part of the solution. Like I said before, it's not to their detriment. We work alongside with them to make sure we have the protective clauses that need to be successful. We don't want the people that we are placing in stable homes to either destroy the property or to do anything, and vice versa. We don't want evictions to happen either. So we provide that support. We give landlords, if they have an issue, we tell them as soon as you see something happening, because instability can happen at any point. Most of the people that I talk to, there's a certain point, an accident can happen and it can just throw your financing off, your finances, excuse me. So the landlords are encouraged to call us at the first sign. If they see that they're struggling with their payment, to call us. We go out there with the provider, the caseworker goes and intervenes if necessary. If not, we make a phone call as well. And when we're talking about youth, we're there throughout the entire process. The moment that they come out, let's say, of that they graduate, we're there with them, guiding them from the beginning, understanding a lease. This is what's going to happen. You're coming into adulthood, all the way until they're at a point where they can even connect with other organizations for home ownership. So we're there throughout the entire process.
Okay. Has it been a challenge finding the landlords that are interested? And first of all, I want to apologize to all the real estate investors, including you. I've never thought of them as being interested in being a part of the community and helping solve our problems. So my apologies, first of all, for being so small-minded. But has it been a challenge finding the landlords and real estate investors who have the properties to put together with your clients?
What's been a challenge is to get out there fast enough.
Really?
Yes, because there are landlords through the different subsidy programs have been out there for a long time. What they don't know, and this is something brand new, is the landlord support available. So I'm the only person in the entire Miami-Dade County providing this service. So it's myself and Paul Imbrone from the Homeless Trust that we provide that support. We're actively engaged with different landlords and in recruiting them as well. Not only providing the support, but recruiting them as well. We try to attend the different events, but we're only 2 people. And
it makes it hard.
And thanks to your invitation, we're going to be able to get out there even more.
So is it difficult to get the landlords to understand that you're going to support them if and when something does happen? Has that been it? I guess my question would be is it been difficult in order to get the landlords to understand how important the program is to the community?
It's an ongoing process. We offer monthly meetings for landlords to attend. So it's a message that doesn't stop. The different types of needs that our population have, they're so vast that there's no way that we can cover it in a single meeting. So that there's always the need of gathering more information from their part and us delivering it as well. So they can tailor, let's say, their requirements to the families or the youth, the people that we're helping.
I mean, it sounds like such a great program, and it's a shame. I wish that there was some way that we could just, drill people and drill a hole in people's heads and pour the information in. But we have to use venues like this, and we have to use social media in order to get the message out. It's got to be a 24/7 job for you, right?
It is, and this is where passion propels me, because there are calls it could be emergencies at any time, and it happens. people that are in this space, anything can happen. We help all type of people, but we have to be there, and thankfully the providers are there as well. So this is not, when it comes to emergency calls, there's a support group that we can lean on.
So you're partnered with other organizations, for instance, the ones who deal with who deal with kids coming out of foster care. You mentioned you're partnering with the gentleman at the Homeless Trust, correct?
Yes, Pauline,
And you're also partnering with other organizations who are providing services, in particular to folks who are. You're not just working with the homeless, right? But you're also working with folks who may have an issue at one place and trying to move to another. Am I correct?
Yes, and now I do want to say, when I talk about homeless people, they automatically think of one group, and homelessness has a whole new different face now.
Yeah.
It can be teachers living in hotels. It could be people that are currently employed. I had a person that she had 3 jobs and she was homeless. She was living in a hotel. That's considered being homeless.
Yes.
We have kids, I call them kids, but they're young people that are on their own couch surfing. That is a way of homelessness as well. So I want to change that. It automatically, when I speak to a landlord and I say homeless, their mind goes to a single place, and that is not what homelessness looks like anymore. So we have to think about that and kind of change the mindset to be able to open doors.
And that's going to be difficult to change the mindset, because as you stated, a lot of folks, the first thing when you say homeless, you think of someone living on the street, but a person who's living in a hotel who doesn't have a stable home to go to every day is considered homeless. That, as you stated, the kid that's couch surfing, he's staying in this place 3 nights and then another place, on another friend's couch a week or so, and so on. That's not stable housing, correct?
That is correct.
So how do we get and you in particular, how do you get the landlord's mindset to change when it comes to when you go there and say, well, I got a program to help homeless folks? How do you get them to change that mindset?
I don't use the word homeless.
Okay.
I can tell you that up front. I use housing instability. People are experiencing housing instability.
Okay.
Yes, just to avoid that barrier. As soon as I say that the word homeless, it's an automatic no. So that's an extended conversation that we have with landlords to explain to them, educate them what homelessness means nowadays, which is housing instability. And part of the work that I do is making videos. And for the folks that allow me to share their story, I share it, because once they see what it looks like, what the person looks like, they're more willing to work with us.
You have to friend her on Facebook so you can see these videos. These videos are incredible, the work that she's doing for those who are not housing stable. I got to change my mindset as well, and I think all the social impact organizations, we have to change our mindset as well so we can stop saying homeless and getting to housing instability. I think I totally agree with you, because we say homeless and boom, immediately something else comes to mind. We picture shopping carts full. We picture folks living on the street, wearing the same clothes day after day, instead of saying housing instability. We got to change the whole mindset. Thank you so much, Ivonne. But again, please follow her on Facebook. You'll see some incredible videos of the work she's doing. So as you try to get these landlords and recruit these landlords or to help us with our housing instability issue, do you see a trend that they're better understanding what it is you're trying to do and how you're trying to help the community?
I see landlords more willing, and property managers, to have that conversation. And if they don't understand, they attend the meetings, they continue to call me, because it has to be a close relationship for this to work. So if there's any support that they need, if there's any even advice that they need, sometimes they call me at the point that they're buying the property and they're rehabbing the property and ask what are our needs. So they can rehab the property or remodel the property according to our needs.
But and that, Scott, I only met Ivonne. We've been knowing each other maybe about 3 or 4 months now. We met at an event, and if you knew her and you see her personality and how she is with people, you would see that I can understand now that why the landlords are actually calling you, because she's very, very passionate about what she does and talking about, curing our housing instability issues. And I can see why you got folks calling you, although it's Yvonne's only one person, so she needs your help as well. We need all the social impact organizations to be able to understand, okay, we have a housing issue, we need to call Yvonne. So she's only one person, and she needs your help as well. So as you talk to these landlords and getting these landlords to more and more understand how they can help with these community issues, I'm sorry, but it just keeps blowing my mind how you've been able to get real estate investors and property managers and folks who have these properties interested in helping with this issue. That's a phenomenal job. Congratulations. That is phenomenal to be able to get that conversation going. But you mentioned that you also provide support for these landlords, right?
Right.
How does that support manifest?
I can give you a great example. We start the work, and sometimes we don't know what it will look like. Mm-hmm. This is such an example. One of the landlords that we have, some of them, they have to know a little bit of information. So we had a person that we housed that she came out of a domestic violence relationship. Mm-hmm. So she was becoming unstable again, and she called me. The landlord called me and said, Yvonne, I suspect that she's falling into that relationship again. Mm. So without that close relationship, there's no landlord that I know of, and I'm in the real estate business, so there's no landlord that's going to call another person to say, my tenant is having this issue again, can we help her, mm-hmm. so she doesn't fall into that. Mm-hmm. And we were able to contact the organization that provides the support services. They came out, talked to her, and got her back on track again, giving her the support needed. Same thing with another person that we housed. They kind of lost a couple of hours. They were able to manage for her to be able to make her payment and not miss. But those are the landlords calling us and letting us know.
Okay, then that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal, because you wouldn't think that an organization or a corporation that's a for-profit corporation would even care about something like that. But for them to think they have that rapport, that they see an issue with the tenant and be able to call someone and say, okay, I see something happening here, because that domestic violence issue is crucial. Just think about because when we think about all the times that people have either lived next door to someone or lived in an apartment complex in particular, live next door and hear that the abuse going on, but doesn't say anything. And for the landlord to go to notice the signs because of the training that you guys have given them and the partnerships and the support, to be able to turn around and say, okay, look, I better call Yvonne because it looks like the same thing is she's falling back into that pattern. Yeah. We may be able to stop it now, before it turns into something extremely violent where someone loses their life, right?
That is correct.
So, I mean, that's a phenomenal that have you built this project yourself from the ground up?
Well, this is a collaboration between the Homeless Trust and the Children's Trust with us. So they are funding the work, and they continue to give us support, Paul and myself. They give us the tools. We meet monthly to brainstorm to see how we can expand and include more people. And we're constantly in the hunt for authentic partners, because the wraparound services, that has a level of commitment as well, not only from the people that we're housing, but also the partners engaging in these services.
So hold on a second, Yvonne. You're telling me that you're engaging for-profit real estate investors and landlords and folks who own properties. You're engaging for-profit folks in the community, training them how to even observe if something's going wrong with a particular tenant, and building that partnership so that they can actually have more. You can actually have more doors that can open for those people as you work with people in order to identify them. So you're actually telling me that you guys have built this project from the ground up. Is this being done anywhere else in this country?
I don't think so. Not from this perspective that I can tell you. Every time that I've had different conversations, I'm approaching this from a win-win situation. The landlords come to me. Some of them, they didn't want to work with the program because they said they have difficulties. After talking about it, you come to find out that it's lack of support. Really is lack of support. So when I identify those and I tell them, just give us a try, give us one property, let's say. Once they see the level of support that we have, the responsiveness that we have, here, I'll give you 20 units.
Wow,
That's how it's happening.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Man, I'm blown away. I knew about the project that she was doing, but I didn't know it to this extent. And to be able to come up with something, I mean, just to attack it at a totally different level and a totally different way. This is the kind of stuff we need. Innovation in order to solve our problems. We can't keep trying to solve our problems the same way we did in the 70s. You know, it's 2024. Coming up with an innovation like that is crucial in order to help solve the problem. So, and I don't know, I can't remember if we talked about this history. So how long have you been doing this particular project?
It's going to be a year.
Really?
Yeah, we officially launched in December. There was a lot of reluctance to participate in the program just because this has been happening for a long time. And landlords had been falling off, let's say, the pipeline, right, accepting to work with people with subsidies. So we launched in December. We spoke with the different partners, and I expressed, I said, lead by example. I'm the person to lead by example. So we continue to work on the project, regardless of who was on board or not. Thanks to all the passion that we have, Paul and myself, we put information out there. Everybody just started coming in and participating, and we're doing right now. We're exiting people at a rate, and it's still, I wish it was more, but at a rate of 44 families and youth outside of homelessness per month.
Per month?
Per month, yes.
Okay, so
that might sound
that's
like
amazing. No, that's not small at all.
It's significant.
That's a significant dent in the issue, and I mean it starts with one. You know what I mean? I'm amazed that I shouldn't be amazed. I'm amazed that you guys were able to get this project off the ground. I love the idea and I love the innovation, but it's amazing that you guys were actually able to get this off the ground and working with in specifically. And I keep going back to the landlords because let's just be honest. I've never thought of a landlord or a for-profit investor as a person who had a particular care about the community. Not trying to disparage any of them, but I'm just saying care about the community, especially in this aspect. So you mentioned that you were actually working with kids as well who are coming out of foster care. How has that been? How challenging has that been?
It's a work in progress. They're not always ready. Rent ready, I call them. So when I speak to them, when we engage with them, I tell them it's not something, it might not be possible right at the moment that we meet, but it's a work in progress. It might take 6 months, it might take 3 months. I have a wonderful example of one that she approached me and she could only afford $500 a rent, and really in Miami there was nothing I could find for $500.
No way, no how.
Yeah, I gave her a small short-term plan because she was on track. The beautiful thing is the youth that I've met, they don't know that they're on track for great things. After having the conversation and showing her what she was doing, she was in school, she was graduating, she was looking for a better job. I told her, this is exactly what you're doing, and if you stay on track, by 3 months you will be able to afford your own place. I left her with that plan. I checked the necessary information where she was at that point, and I told her, if you stay on that path, at 3 months you're going to be able 1,800. She graduated from the program she was doing, and in 3 months she called me. I was able to place her somewhere for 1,800, and she's stably housed.
Really?
In 3 months. That is not me. I cannot take the credit. She has to be determined, and I do express that at the time of the meeting. It's not me. You have to be determined.
But you give them, you're providing the opportunity.
Exactly.
It's up to them to take advantage of the opportunity,
Correct.
but you're providing the opportunity through the project that you've built, right? Wow, that's incredible, because as you and I both know, you couldn't find the square footage of this table for $500 a month in this county. That's just not happening. So as you look at properties, does it matter to you where the properties are? What I mean by that, does it matter in where in the community or where in the county the properties are?
It has to be in Miami-Dade County. This program, as of right now, it's only in Miami-Dade County, and we have grown. We have more than 400 properties in the database already. So it does have to be in Miami-Dade County. It is in the plans that we will expand, but as of right now, we're focusing on our folks that we have here in Miami-Dade County.
Okay. So I guess my other question would be this: is that I know I understand that you're focusing on Miami-Dade County. So as you help these folks become come out of housing instability, are they? Is it can they only be in the program a certain amount of time, or do you just keep providing those ongoing services until you believe, or they believe, or both of you as a team believe that they're stable enough maybe to move out of that particular property so you can move someone else in?
Well, they are in the program as long as they need.
Okay.
We connect them with the services and with the different providers. For example, financial literacy. They are there until they deem it necessary that they are there. If they express, for instance, that they want to buy a property, we connect them with another provider that gives them that financial education and grants. There's so many things out there. I don't think that I think it's a lifelong opportunity that we have in Florida and the United States overall with the different programs that there are. So it's a lifelong journey to take advantage of these programs.
So they're not under any pressure that, okay, you can only stay here a year and then we got to move you out. There's no pressure of that. So I mean, that's amazing that this is an ongoing program, because I firmly don't believe that anybody can solve their housing instability issues in 1 year or any time or a certain time frame. I think all it does is put more pressure on them, and you never know when that instability is going to come up again because of the pressure that's been they're feeling. Going, okay, I only got 4 more months, I only got 3 more months, I only got 2 more months, 1 more month, and boom, okay, I'm back out where I was before. There's been no real progress. You were able to use the project and help me for a year, but that's not what you're seeking, right? You're looking for long term.
Long term. I think we do share enough information, and we empower them to be independent and to speak for themselves. I have youth that when I approach them, they're at a young stage. Most of them, they don't have debt. And I'm excited about the program because we can address the issue even before it becomes a problem. So this is not a person that already has debt or anything like that. We empower them. We give them financial education, employment services if they need to increase their income. So by encouraging them and empowering them this way, they're able to speak for themselves. We don't always have to be there. And if their voices are not being heard, they know who to contact. So we can give them that extra push. That's what we're doing. We're empowering people to be self-sufficient and remain that way.
Okay. So let's move on to the actual clients themselves. Is there an age limit as far as being in this particular project?
We have a special focus for youth, but we help people from all ages. The different providers give those services. So because
I think that's important, because the last thing we want is, okay, your housing is unstable, or you're not in stable housing, but I can't get in Ivonne's program because I'm a year too old, or something like that. So I'm really glad that you guys, there's no age limit on the program. The object of the game is just to help people, right?
To help people, and we have different referral partners that we can send them to. And the beautiful thing is when we establish that relationship, they can either talk to me, talk to Paul, and see, or the provider, the case manager they might have, and ask for different services if that one is not.
And the wraparound services that you guys are partnering with, the wraparound services are ongoing as well,
they are
right?
ongoing, yes, correct.
Is there a requirement for these wraparound services that they be in?
Well, they have to talk to the case manager and provide the documentation. Those are the requirements. Provide the documentation so they can track. This is for tracking purposes,
of course,
to be able to get funding for those different type of programs.
So how you're getting a lot of referrals from the different organizations that you're partnering with in order to move into this project, right? Is that the only way to get into the project, or is there other ways for these folks to become a part of this project?
Are we talking about tenants, or are we talking, or potential tenants?
We're talking about
landlords?
potential tenants, yes.
Oh, so there are different access points.
Okay.
So they can visit the Homeless Trust website, and they can complete an intake form to be able to be routed to the correct organization. Okay.
Okay. And my question also goes to, as far as the landlords are concerned. I know you're constantly recruiting, but is there a mechanism so that the landlords can find you, or you got to do all the searching?
They can find us at our website, miamiHomesForAll.org, or
Okay.
they can also visit the Homeless Trust. We are working on our marketing to get more out there, and you've seen the videos. We're doing all of that, so they can contact us through social media, through the website. They can, or they can meet with us in person as well.
Okay, so, and what's great about what Yvonne's project is she's not just providing or helping provide wraparound services, partnering with clients with social impact organizations to provide wraparound service for the clients, but she's also, sounds like you're providing wraparound services for the landlords.
Yes, if they need support, like if they need help to navigate the documentation that we need to complete to house some of the people, we are there also to provide that service.
Oh, that's great. So there's no excuse, landlords, no excuse whatsoever. You know, you get with Yvonne and you work on this, you get into become a part of this project, and she's also providing wraparound services for you, not just for the clients who she's providing, helping getting housing for. So as you guys begin to stretch, where do you see it going? Where do you see the future of it? And you may not be able to speak long term. You may only be able to speak immediate. Where do you see your project going in the next six months to a year?
We're moving towards a centralized landlord system where all the providers will be able to go to a single website and be able to connect with the landlords that are already educated in these different type of programs and the people that we are assisting. So that's what we're working on. And in the next 6 months, I can foresee that happening. It's already happening. And then the landlords, what they're doing, when they're finding out about it, they just either connect via the website or they call us directly to sign up into the program.
So is it a tedious process for the landlords to sign up?
No, it's fairly simple, and we even have the option for them to have an account if they wished in the database, so they can upload and maintain their property's availability on the website directly.
I mean, this is an incredible project that Yvonne's doing. I look forward to seeing more about it and helping any way we can in order to help facilitate getting you guys out there. I follow her on and I'm going to keep saying it. I follow her on Facebook and I on my personal page. I constantly share every video that she posts, because you should see the people's faces when she goes in and gives them and shows them the new home. You just should see their faces. And I just had a guest on. We were talking about data and collecting stories and things of that nature, and things she posts, and see these people's faces when Yvonne shows them that place that they're going to move into and how they're going to be serviced is just incredible. I mean, you got to follow her so you can see, because she posts it constantly. So I look forward to seeing more of them, and I'll keep sharing them as much as I possibly can, because I think it's an incredible program that you guys have been able to develop, and the innovation behind this. I mean, for you to be inspired like this in order to, let's see how we can marry the landlords with the clients and help the clients and get housing more stable in our county. How can we do that other than, you have to keep searching for it. We have to build another building and build another building and build another building. But how can we use the present doors that we have already open? How can we help those, right? So you started the project. You and Paul started the project, started working together on the project, bringing in landlords, bringing in clients. How do you see maybe getting government agencies involved, or are you already partnered with government agencies?
Partnered. Yes, of course. This is a collaborative effort between the providers that we have, service providers, the housing authorities. They are involved as well. So it is a true partnership between all. It's a lot of moving pieces, but having the capability of, having a close relationship with all of them, it helps us bridge the gaps. So there was lack of communication. So we're here for that, in order to make the file move faster.
Okay, make the file move faster, which is going to be a challenge anytime you deal with government anyway. Government is not built for speed by no stretch of the imagination. So I'm very interested in the government piece now. You've been able to marry all these organizations together, including government. And being able to help it facilitate, as you said, move the file faster in order to help. So how, if I'm a client, how long does it usually take from the time I initially contact you with my needs, you having the door? When I mean my doors, I mean apartments or whatever. You having the door available. How long does it usually take for me to go from Ivonne, I got an issue, to the point that I'm actually in a place?
At that moment, the tenant or the potential tenant is with the case manager. The case manager has to ensure they have the rent ready file. I call it rent ready file. That has a set of documents that we need specific for housing.
Okay.
Once that happens, we've been able to house, and they have the package complete, which is extremely important. We go out and see properties, and we've been able to house them in 30 days or less. Matching them with a property, it happens fairly quickly, less than a week working. We're talking about business days, yes. But this is the result of having trainings with the housing navigators and case managers, because documentation is a setback. If they don't have all the documents ready, that can push the process back up to 3 weeks and sometimes more. But when they come to us with that package, we've been able to do it in 30 days or less.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes.
That's incredible that you're able to do that. I mean, because we all know how long paperwork takes. And like you just said earlier, being able to move the file quickly, 30 days or less, you're able to. So I can look forward to, okay, I've contacted one of your partners. Your partners have built the file. I've provided all the documentation that I'm supposed to provide. And I can look at, actually say that 30 days from now or less, I'm going to have a roof over my head, a stable roof over my head.
And if you want a range, 45 days or less, from 30 to 45 days. That's
incredible. I mean, and you guys, and you and Paul designed this project yourselves.
Yes, and it's a very dynamic project because the needs, the programs change, people's needs change, and things happen sometimes. Like if there's a building that got condemned, we have to focus on that and get those people housed. So it's very dynamic.
And we've getting a lot of that lately, especially since the Surfside tragedy. We have a lot of buildings, especially the older buildings, who can't meet their 40-year certification. And I mean, at least once a month or once every few months, I read about, okay, the whole building has to empty. So you guys have been helping with those folks as well, then,
Well, landlords call us to tell us their vacancies when that happens. They call us, Paul, Yvonne, we have this building. If you need anything, just let us know. And we move on with the referrals.
But see, that's what collaboration and partnership does. Building those relationships, what Yvonne keeps saying, is building those relationships between government, the social impact organizations, as well as the landlords. That's what this brings. We can't work in silos. We have to build partnerships, collaborations. We got to work together. This is a team game. Solving our community issues is a team game, which means it involves all of us, and everybody from the people who are sitting on the bench to the people who are starting has to participate. That's the only way we can make this happen. I want to thank you, Yvonne. This has been an enlightening project. And your program, I want to applaud you. That's incredible that you guys have been able to do this. So we have one last question that I'd like to ask everyone. If I gave you all the power in the world, what would you change?
Okay. Based on what I'm seeing, and of course, selfishly thinking my passion, I would change education and housing. Housing first, because we can't do anything else if we don't have a stable roof over our head. And education. I want education to be readily available for when the person is ready to receive that information and be able to act on it after that.
Great answer. Great answer. Thank you, Yvonne. From Miami Homes for All, we greatly appreciate you bringing the project to the fore. We are extremely grateful. This is what social impact is about. People actually making an impact in communities. That's why I really don't like the term nonprofit or calling organizations nonprofits. I love to call them social impact organizations, because that's what you do. You impact society. And thanks to Yvonne, she's impacted society and trying to change things. Thank you again, Yvonne, for being our guest. We greatly appreciate it. And you have just seen the Just Economy podcast, sponsored by the Community Reinvestment Alliance of Florida. We look forward to the next time we have our guests. Look forward to the release of this particular podcast, follow Ivonne, follow Ivonne, follow Ivonne. I'm telling you, those videos that she posts will make you melt and just see the people's faces and how their lives have been changed just because of Ivonne being able to reach out to those landlords and actually marrying real estate investors and with the community needs. I mean, it's incredible. You have to follow her. We look forward to seeing you the next time. Thanks again for joining us for the Just Economy podcast.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.